In today's video, you're going to be coming out with the best levels in the game and what trades I'm taking going forward. So stay tuned, hit the like button and subscribe. Without further ado, let's dive straight into it. So in the backdrop of the last video, we were talking about this sort of price action taking place as we reached a very, very key level. It wasn't the ultimate level, but it was a key level. And since then, we had that exact rollover, took out the low, as you can see here, and now we're shooting back up. Now, the question is where we're going, what's happening next, because I also did highlight a large array of different varied levels, which was specifically these ones over here in these green boxes. So to highlight, that was around 62, 66, 200. And then we had around that big cluster, 56,000, okay? So obviously we're having a bit of a push up now. It's been was it a 3% move? So let's dive into what we're looking at, how the game's gonna unfold and what I'm doing right now. So right now I am not in the market. So all my positions are empty. This is weeks. This is Bit Unix, and then Bybit. I have just my Bybit account there. So that's the last, what's that, 14, 18 days or so. So USD, it's okay, but could be better. Anyway, let's dive into what I'm doing, because the market is very, very volatile. It's very, very choppy, and you can see the price action here is unfolding in quite a staircase manner. You can see it's falling down. What that also means is a lot of resting liquidity above these highs. And are we going to have the breakout right now? Let's determine that in this video. Starting off the gate, we're going to look at what we're forming. You can see that we have the exact same pattern form here, a large step and then a push up, a large step and a push up. Are we going to see that exact same pattern, or are we going to see a breakdown because of what's going on? And right now we're bouncing off the POC, and I can show you the zoomed in view. And it's very textbook. You basically break above and then you trade there and then you push up. So that's probably a 0.6 move, I would assume. Oh, even more, 1%. So that's a very, very solid scalp, and we're seeing profit taking take place already in the market. Now, broader viewpoint, let's get a clear view. Monthly, ignore that. Weekly, we can definitely highlight that we have 62K. That's always going to be there. We did come into our $66,000 region, and we essentially did what I was looking at, which I wasn't going to take the trade on, and I didn't take it because I didn't like it, that fact. And it's actually looking like we might get a rotation up. But I don't like the fact that we broke down and broke down again. But we have closed above, which is akin to this, which did conduce to the roll up to the highs. Now, I would say there is a high likelihood now, the fact that we have broken back into the range and we're above the POC, that we do shoot up, at least take this high and this one. And regarding the order flow, what are we seeing? We're not seeing anything crazy. We're seeing rather neutral order flow. You got 9 million order there, and then yeah, a little bit of shorts. I think that's, hold on, is that, yeah, that's shorts closing because you have delta going up, which an open interest going down. So shorts are closing as the way up. So it's a little bit of a short squeeze, nothing crazy. And then here you've got a large amount of shorts that close, which had the thrust up there. So the order flow is rather neutral. It's nothing to like talk about too much. But off the bat, price action wise, we have definitely structurally reclaimed back into the range, and now we're testing above the POC. Now, what you don't want to see is this being lost, because this level being lost would signify there's a weakness. And usually when you lose such high volume nodes, once you've claimed into them, you would expect a rotation back down to the lower levels. So I would say the high likelihood is we're going to be taking out at least to this, and you can accompany that very clearly with a 618 level, which would paint a picture around $68,000, which is another 1.5% move. That being said, I don't believe the trade would be a great risk to reward ratio here, so I wouldn't be taking it. And in the market, you're going to have those times where you just don't get in the market. So, for example, here where I could have made a good trade because we were looking at that exact setup. If we go back to, where's that level? Pretty much back here. Yeah, we were looking at that exact setup taking place. If we can highlight that, that's going to be there. Basically the 3 drops and then the push up. Yeah, could have been a good trade, but there's going to be times you don't take trades. And at the end of the day, that's capital protection. And that means basically you don't have any giant losses, basically. So you don't want to be seeing huge losses. That's the key there, right? So, have a good day there, etc. And then I've just reopened this BitUnix account and put a fresh 10,000 AUD in for my new scalping because I like the fees on here. And then I got my week's account for other scalping accounts. So I have two, so I spread the funds across different exchanges. Now, if you guys want to join along and trade with me, go to the links down below. Follow me at the Telegram. You can see the Telegram channel there. I'll be posting setups and all that sort of stuff there. Follow me on Instagram. You can definitely follow me there. Ask questions. And if you want to do partnerships, email me at isaacho4344@gmail.com. I will answer those emails and do as needed. Regarding exchanges, we've got Weeks, Bybit, and Ubit. Also, I'm working on getting BitUnix to get in so they can be a partner of the channel. Okay. Now, one thing I want you guys to do is to like the video, subscribe, and turn post notifications on so you're updated of every new video coming out. Now, back to the charts. So we have a very, very clear defined scope of what's most likely going to happen. We can see on the daily that we've got a green node forming. We've also got a bit more level. We have a bit more steam in the tank to push this. I would say so. That being said, we are probably forming a bit of a, you have choppy things, so you might come back down, chop up like that. But I would say, based off what I'm looking at right now, I would estimate the higher likelihood would be pushing up to at least here or here to have that reversal. If we were to reject directly from here, let's have a look at what would line up. Specifically for me would be important would be the anchored VWAP, and then it would be, yeah, we're on the anchored VWAP right now, so it makes sense we do have a little bit of reversal. And then, yeah, so this one's a bit tricky. You've got anchored VWAP, you've got the volume point of control. And what that would typically mean is that if we do reject, we're going to range within here. So we're trapped within two volume bands, the descending volume band of the VWAP, and then also the volume point of control, which would mean you'd probably form some sort of triangle like this and then break out to the upside, take out this level, and then probably have your bigger rejection. This would not be a strong level of resistance for me in my eyes because of the fact that you've claimed within the range, as you can see here, you've claimed above the POC, and now this is an interim resolve resistance. So it would not be my higher level because there's also no liquidity that's residing at where we are right now. So it wouldn't be something I'm here to rave about, right? If you were in a long term exact lows, taking, for example, the swing fail pattern low here, then this would be a very valid take profit zone for TP1. Now, let's get into what the long trades would look like going forward, specifically the scalp trades, because we know that the swing trades are going to be here. So that's 62,000 is a good swing trade. And then potentially this low here, which would coincide nicely with this one, would be a swing trade. Now, if we don't do that, we all the way rocket all the way back up, we need to look for an entry on the lower time frames to get in. So let's say we've successfully, let's just move this over here. Let's say we've successfully taken out this high or this high. So 1 and 2. These are both very valid regions to have a rejection. So if I'm up or there, and now you'd be looking for the downside trade to take. So where would that reside? Because that's going to be of importance for our, if this is the actual low. The first thing I'd be looking at is the VWAP, because that is the most important thing, especially when you're having a trend shift. And the volume, where's that going to be residing? So you can repaint a picture here. You've got VWAP and you've got POC coming in and you've got liquidity under this low. So you'd be looking at something akin to this, 66,900. So if we get that, I'll be looking for an entry of a long here. I'll be starting as a scalp because the simple fact that we didn't catch the exact low. So I'll be starting that trade as a scalp. And then that's for the long side in terms of right now. And then to actually get a short in this market, you've got the high here. I think that would line up decently nice. Yeah, decently nicely with this. So I would be looking at this band right here. That would go very nicely with the swing flow pattern high. So you've essentially got two liquidity crunches, one here and one here, coming into a band of volume weighted volume profile at 80th percentile, and you'd expect a deviation, at least of a little bit of a scalp. That also ties in very nicely with the point of control of the entire range. So you got 3 levels of decent size confluence popping in together, which I would highlight as decently important. Now, if I just want to put a whole range for VWAP, let's see where this lies. Another thing we're looking at here, which is also why I'm finding resistance, is we are coming into the entire range volume weighted average pull. So that's what we're finding resistance here. Once we can successfully claim this, I would say that is very, very bullish. So if you look in the 1 minute, you can see that, sorry, 3 minutes will be better. we're just tinkering around that level right now. So that makes sense why I'm finding resistance right now. I have to say, there's never a price pivot that it's not technical. I would say pretty much every price movement is very, very technical in the marketplace. So I've just highlighted 66, around 66,700, and then the level at 69,000. That's what's going to be in terms of the, let's have a look. So we're going to highlight that for the scalps, and then this is for the scalp shorts. So that's going to be directly above us. Now, do we have any levels that are higher that I'll be looking at for a more macro short trade? I believe the answer is yes, because if we zoom this down, we can see there's a very nice node coming up above here. And I keep them big when we're not there because of the simple fact that we're not there yet. So you better keep them big, right? And then one would highlight the volume weighted pull, which I would say is going to coincide nicely with this level. Not too far, but let's have a look. That would probably consolidate down further. Yeah, really the next level would be this high, and then this high here. So that would be coming in about there. So these are the swing shorts. Boom, boom. If we can get to 7-8, that's solid. And then you got much ones at 89, which would be a very, very solid trade. Other than that, that's precisely what I'm looking at. So I'm going to just give a very, very clear point of picture how this views. There's about 6 potential trades you can be taking in this market right now. Let's make it all neat so everyone can have a good viewpoint. Let's go here. Let's go there. And then let's zoom this in a little bit. Just a little bit there. Okay. So right now, to keep it very, very clean, we have swing trade 1, swing trade 2 for the long side. Now for the short side, you've got swing trade 1, swing trade 2, swing trade 3. And if we zoom in on the 15-minute, we can see the intermediary timeframes. We've got a potential long opportunity coming in at around 65,500. And then we've got a short trade coming in at around 69. These can also be viewed as inverse in terms of if you're in the opposite trade. So if you're in a long, this is your take profit. If you're in a short, this would be your take profit. So if you get in a short from here, then that's take profit, vice versa. You'd flip it around. So the levels of, that's why I say I'm a level to level trader. I just wait for my levels to be hit and then I'll take those trades. I think you have to be like this if you're not in from the lows in spot. In fact, you can be doing this on the peripheral side for extra profit on the side, but it's definitely active income that you have to do the active charting for. So it's not like you just win all day. Now, if we were to zoom in 30-minute, let's have a look. Anything special painting my eyes? I just want to have a look at this range. You can see this channel. You can definitely see we're attempting a breakout. So yeah, it's definitely okay. It's not too negative. You've also got a pull from here you could review, which is the retest, breakout, retest, push up. Yeah, like I said, I'll be looking for here and here as levels. Other than that, I will not be touching the market, and I'll be peripherally waiting on the side, updating everyone on what's happening. It's also good training to just be aware too. But I'd rather just be very, very careful and make money very, very slowly and just stack those sats. So this is the account I'm more aggressive with, which I will be doing. And the week's account, I will be doing that too. So anyway, that's my conclusion of this video pretty much. So I don't want to highlight too much more. What I would say is go to weeks. Let me change this to the settings over here. Okay. So go to weeks. Weeks is the trading exchange. They're also in the description below, and also Bybit. Go trade on them, help support the channel. Follow the trades I take, the levels I look at, but trade with your own caution, okay? Not financial advice, but the levels I'm looking at are backed by a bunch of other analysts that I follow and my own synthesis of what I'm seeing in the market from my 4 years of experience. I'm not a very aggressive trader, but I do have a decent hit rate. Yeah, other than that, I think that's pretty much about it. And I will see you in the next update. And yeah, like I said, guys, head over here, hit the subscribe button, subscribe to the channel. Now, if you're into macro videos, go down to here, Beyond the Block episodes. And if you're into mental models and life, interesting things from a 22-year-old, check out this channel, Isaac Macro. Well, I also will be covering macroeconomics, AI, all that sort of stuff. Finance, life, mastery, that's the entire channel's premise, okay? And then here's some channels to follow that I find interesting too. I will add to that stack as I find fit. Other than that, that's all I want to say today. So peace out. Have a good day.